Hello VC, this is Dr. Dove back with you again. I know I currently have a video up which I put up not too long ago, but this video is specifically to showcase some VCLT which I received recently from the VC's one and only Ben Costello. I will be showing other pickups as well, but I got a fantastic stack of VCLT from Ben last weekend, last Saturday when we met. Most of the items I knew beforehand what they were, but there was a couple of surprises in there. So the pick of the bunch, I think, is undoubtedly this item. So this is by Brigitte Fontaine and Abercrombie. Now I have to point out, I wouldn't, like a lot of people in the VC, I wouldn't have known of Brigitte Fontaine were it not through exposure to the videos of Freddie Big Star, aka Freddie Big Star 2000. I don't know what's happening with him at the moment. He seems to have deleted his videos. I'm not sure, is he still in the VC? But anyway, it is through his videos that I am aware of Brigitte Fontaine and became aware of her music. Now, Ben, her items are extremely hard to find, at least here, certainly in Ireland. I've never seen anything by her in the wild. So it was very fortuitous that Ben spotted this and grabbed this for me. It is an album called Le Bonheur. It is from 1975. It is this guy Abercrombie, who she collaborated with quite a bit in the 70s. He was a French musician of North African Berber extraction, and it's a triple gatefold sleeve, by the way, and that is Brigitte Fontaine and Abercrombie. And you can see here this very interesting array of instruments which turn up on this album. Very interesting kind of influences running through here. There's these kind of unusual spoken word pieces which appear to have been recorded live. There's percussion, kind of North African type percussion, very experimental. It would probably help if you spoke French in order to fully appreciate. I don't myself, but I don't think you really do need to, but it probably would help. But nevertheless, it's an extremely rewarding listen, and I'm very, very grateful to Ben to have grabbed this for me. I'll just show the label. It's on a label called Sarava. Now I think this is actually a repress, but still, it's even the repress is extremely hard to find. So thanks very much again, Ben, for grabbing this this very hard to find and item for me. So well, that's not everything. I'll go through the rest of the records that Ben gave to me. This is something which he picked up. Again, it's back to that. It's back to those two letters, PR again, which I featured in my last video. These PR items keep turning up. Myself and Ben went through it in the last video. We made a big haul where all these records had PR on them. Ben grabbed this at the time. He already had it, so it's Ralph Towner and John Abercrombie, and it is 5 years later This is on ECM. It's from 1982. This is an excellent album, excellent guitar-based album on the ECM. There we go. Always looking to expand my my ECM collection. So thanks very much, Ben, for giving this to me, because this is a worthy addition. Fantastic record, and one that I will be playing over and over again. And I love that cover as well, even if it does have that ubiquitous PR initial on it. Moving on, this is a bit of a strange one, because this is a record which I actually gave to Ben as VCLT previously. But then Ben recently, on his recent trip to London, met up with what's going on? I'll focus again. Mark Dr. Rhythm, who gave Ben a copy of this himself. So he then ended up with 2 copies. So it's finding its way back to me. Not the exact same copy that I gave Ben, but this is the one that Mark gave him. He told Mark that he already had it and he was going to give it to me. So just in case he's watching, in case Mark is watching this. So Man, Rhinos, Winos and Lunatics from 1974. I've shown it before. I think I showed it before. Maybe I didn't. I did pick it up before, but I gave it to Ben, so maybe. Anyway, 1974 on United Artists. So it's kind of found its way back to me again. So that's nice. Now the next item, I didn't know he was giving me this one, and this was a bit of a surprise, and it's by a band who I've heard a lot of on the VC, particularly from, say, Derek and some others, but I've never yet managed to pick up anything by them. So this was a nice surprise. This is Gentle Giant playing The Fool. It's a double live album, recorded in 76, released in 77. A gatefold. It's a double, so it's actually a Canadian copy. It came all the way from the land of Bobby Gass and Octavio, and found its way in Limerick, Ireland, and now found its way to Cork, Ireland. So so as I said, Gentle Giant. I hadn't kind of familiarised myself that much with their out of those kind of big kind of prog groups of the 70s. They're one band who I hadn't really kind of explored in any depth. So this has been very welcome. This is very welcome kind of introduction to them. I took a bit of a while to get into it. Didn't get into it fully at first, but it really does draw you in. I particularly like the bass. There's actually 2 bassists, Derek Shulman and Ray Shulman. I'll definitely be delving deeper into the Gentle Giant discography should I get the chance. So thanks very much for that, Ben. It was an inspired choice, I think, because a band who I don't have anything, who I didn't have anything by previously. So it's it's a very nice introduction to them. Okay, so the last item of VCLT from Ben is the man himself, David Bowie. This is a 7-inch single featuring 2 tracks from Low, Be My Wife and Speed of Life, Speed of Life. So it's a 1983 reissue. They originally came out on Low, which was released in 1977. So this is an interesting update to my Bowie 7-inch collection. So thanks for a very nice cover as well. And it's on that RCA label. So thanks very much for that, Ben. So that was the VCLT from Ben, and what VCLT it was, just incredible stuff, especially the Abercrombie and Brigitte Fontaine. It's just incredible VCLT. Okay, so I'll just move on. On the same day that I met up with Ben, we went to a local flea market where we both picked up a lot of items. Yeah, I know it's going out of focus again. Made a couple of pickups. First up, swing like a pig. This is the soundtrack to Deliverance, that 1972 movie. Well, I don't think it's not the actual full soundtrack, but it does feature that piece of music, Dueling Banjos, by Eric Weisberg and Steve Mandel. This is a great piece of bluegrass, fantastic stuff. It's on Warner Brothers. Came out in 73, and I think this is a German pressing from what I can figure out. The title piece of music really kind of needs, it needs no introduction. It's extremely well known, but it's a very, very nice album overall. Quite pleased to pick that up. The other item which I picked up, now the same guy who I bought this off, I did pick up some other items by Kate Bush, which I'd shown, I think it was in my last video, I'm not sure, it might have been my last one or the one beforehand. So here's another one to complete the lineup. So this is The Sensual World by Kate Bush from 1989. Original UK pressing, which came out on EMI. Very nice copy. Yeah, so I think I now have pretty much all of her albums from 78 to 89, apart from her self-titled 83 compilation album. So this is a great album. I'm sure I don't need to go too much into it, but a lot of you probably have it. But I'm very, very happy to pick this up. Interestingly, the guy who I bought it off, he claims, well, I don't have any reason to disbelieve him. He says he's from a part of Ireland, County Waterford, and he's a school friend of his. Kate Bush is actually the school friend's aunt, because her mother came from that part of Ireland. So he used to actually meet her when he was young, Kate Bush, and he said that himself and his friends nicknamed her the hippie lady. He says he last met her about 10 years ago, and yes, he does have a lot of items signed by her, but they're not for sale. They're part of his personal collection. But so it was an interesting story to go with this purchase. that everything. Oh yes, almost forgot. Yesterday I picked this item up. This was a partial. This is a partial trade-in. I didn't do a full swap, but I did do a very nice partial trade on an item that I had. So something I've been looking for a long time, and this is You by Gong from 1975. Amazing cover art. Or it's from 74 actually, I think. This is an original UK pressing. Now it has been played a bit. There is kind of surface noise at a few points, but and yeah, this is a really nice album. It's I suppose you could describe it as kind of funky ambient, to coin a phrase. Yeah, I've been looking for this for a long time. Still don't have a lot of Gong, but always on the lookout. But they tend to be quite pricey, but I did do a pretty good trade on it, so very happy to pick this up. So that's You by Gong. I'm going to finish up with a couple of CDs. This is something that I spotted in my local second-hand independent record store. This is Psychic TV, live in Basildon. This is a 1986 live show. There's a whole bunch of these live albums released with that red and white cover art. This one was only released a couple of years ago, I think 2011, and it is second-hand copy, but includes God Star, which was a tribute to Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones, and pretty much the closest thing to a hit single that Psychic TV had. Even though it reached kind of lower ends of the charts, but it did become kind of probably their best, most commercially successful single, I suppose you could say. Now I'm going to finish up with an item which I found in a charity shop yesterday. If I can get the camera to focus. Okay, so this is a very lucky charity shop find. This is on Soul Jazz Records. Anyone familiar with Soul Jazz knows that they do these excellent retrospective compilation albums, and this is on the subject of Chicago Acid House. Comes with this great fat illustrated booklet, and so Acid House, so Chicago, where the whole Acid House thing started, charting the years from 85 to 95, by which point the whole it had kind of long since peaked, but kind of experimental house. It's still continued. It's a double album. Features the likes of Future with acid tracks, plus a lot of lesser known tunes. So the full title is Can You Jack, Chicago Acid House and Experimental House 1985 to 1995. Okay, so it's I just about kept it under the 20-minute mark, so I'll finish at that. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and have a great weekend.